What's up, Gacha gamers? Today's video is a PvP guide that's broken into 3 parts. In part 1, we take a look at how PvP works and what are the important tips we must follow in order to succeed. In part 2, we're analyzing what teams you should be using in PvP. Finally, in the third part, I'm showing what team I'm actually using myself right now to climb the PvP ladder. So let's just jump into the game and where I can explain you everything. So the first thing you will notice is that you can actually pick out one of 3 opponents to choose your fight. Depending on the difficulty of the opponent, you will be awarded a different amount of stars. As I understand, stars are only relevant for you to unlock the final chest, which is just 9 stars. And what I mean by that is that usually you will get paired with quite strong opponents, so initially don't be afraid of spending about 10,000 gold coins just to see what you can get. Now generally what I'd like to do is not to spend too much gold, because gold is important in this game for various other things. Climbing the PvP ladder is great, but for now just focus on upgrading your characters. So the next thing you will notice is that in order to start your fights, you will need to use something that's called a gladiator badge. Get 5 badges allocated each day for free. Any other additional purchases you make will cost you starstones. If you're doing quite well, which means usually it's very easy to climb when there's not enough challenge in the game, just spend the starstones to advance in the ladder as quickly as possible until you hit like a brick wall when you face a lot of challenging opponents. So in this case, I'm just gonna buy 5 more. And if you look again, I can buy 5 more for the same amount. Now, if I buy again just for the testing purposes, let's see if price increases. Nope, and it seems to be that the general consensus is that 5 badges cost 40 starstones. If you want to climb the ladder fast, if you have some powerful OP heroes and you got enough resources to invest into them, make sure to use these badges to just climb the ladder as fast as possible. Rewards section here, it lists you the possible rewards you'll be able to receive each single day. So starting from gold, you start receiving starstones every single day. Now this is what I call a passive starstone income. You want to try to aim at least unlocking gold rating as fast as possible, and as you can see, you also get your first promotion rewards. So as you can see, I just won the fight. I'm at gold rating right now instead of silver. Claims that I will be getting 300 starstones. I did not get awarded them right now, as you can see, which means that if you click the question mark icon, it tells you that actually on Sunday your rank will be calculated and then the awards will be distributed for those who have reached the rank for the first time. And keep a note that 100 points will be deducted from your rank afterwards. You will be demoted by 1 rank unless you're in champion rank. I'm guessing has no ceiling, or at least no official ceiling of how many points you can achieve. But for those of us who are at the moment learning the ropes of the game, I'm guessing we should try to aim for at least the platinum rank here. So try to aim for a platinum so you can get downgraded to gold, so you can at least start earning each day the starstones. Now, if we take a look at the awards I'm getting right now from the last chest here, they are not bad. You get 10 starstones and you get the important currency, which is honor, which you can use to exchange items in the arena shop. And you can see it for yourself. The rewards are quite handsome. It's going to be extremely important to obtain this one, the SSR trinket pack. First thing I'm going to probably be focusing on is unlocking this SSR trinket pack. Most of my heroes still don't have a trinket on them equipped. Currently, for example, I have Jester in my main team who I'm using to deal damage to a single target. He doesn't have a trinket and he suffers from that greatly, so I will be saving my points, my honor points, to get the SSR trinket pack. Now, don't make the same mistake I did and play the game without setting up your defense team. I actually played the first day without setting it up, and if you look at the history, I actually lost quite a lot of points on the first day I was playing, like minus 12, minus 12, minus 5. So make sure to head on over to the defense lineup here and set up what's, in your opinion, the best team lineup, or of course just keep watching the video and I'll explain to you what team you should be using for PvP. So currently, because the game had just launched like a couple of days ago, try to focus on the current heroes you have obtained and make sure to make them as powerful as you can, clearing as much as you can story, challenges, getting better equipment, upgrading it, because the thing is, you won't be seeing a lot of meta unless you climb to some higher ladders. That's how usually every single game has their PvP established. Most of the time, up until you climb to diamond, that's when you start seeing some meta units appearing. Whereas if you're playing under gold, silver, bronze, this is just a free-for-all newbie slaughtering arena. Don't worry too much about it. Just keep using the strongest units you have at the moment. Don't worry about what you should be building at the moment. I would say that in order to make sure that your team is optimal at least a little, give a special notice to your elemental advantages or elemental bonuses. So for example, if you have 3 fire heroes in your team, including support units, which is great. For example, fire grants 15% chance of increased critical attack if you have 3 heroes and 30% chance if you have 5 heroes of the fire element. This is pretty good. Basically, if you have 5 fire heroes, you almost guaranteed have a 1/3 of a chance to inflict a critical hit, which in my opinion is a lot. Obviously, another thing you should be following is actually clicking on the team you're about to face or when you're about to fight the team. Now, one of the more annoying things about the game when you're trying to PvP is that you actually need to look at the portrait by clicking on it and looking at their support unit list, because once you're in the battle and preparing for it, you can actually examine the support units that are being used. So always make sure to utilize the view button right here. Click on the view and start analyzing every single hero they have. If you want to get a really quick overview of what you're about to face, click on the elemental advantage button right here. And by clicking it, you can actually just click on the enemy bonus and see like what they're utilizing right now. So as you can see, they're actually almost similar to my team, where they're using 5 out of 5 fire heroes, including from the support role, who are going to be granting them 30% critical chance, which is pretty massive. This means that if you have a team that's utilizing water heroes, you could just use your elemental advantage. In this case, my earth hero is Valkyrie. She would be pretty suboptimal here because she would need to deal good damage to Dracula and to the main hero. So I would probably just go in and replace her. Obviously right now she's one of my main heroes that I'm using, but if you have someone that's in the water element and you see that you're facing a lot of fire element heroes, just swap them out. Probably one of the most important tips I consider when doing PvP is to actually always fight opponents that are not at the 5th level increment of their hero levels. What I mean is, if you look at your hero right now and look at their awakening tab, you can notice that every time they reach like 25, 30, 35 levels, they get a new powerful upgrade for awakening every 5 levels. So if I see that my team is like level 24 and I'm going to be facing an opponent at level 25, I avoid those fights immediately. As long as I'm like, let's say level 25 and the opponent is from 25 to 29, that's still a more favorable fight than facing a level 30. These gaps are quite big because not only do you unlock some new abilities, passives for your hero, but you also increase their base stats, which in my opinion is one of the more key components of increasing your hero. Obviously there's still gear and artifacts you can manage, and then later on you will unlock perks. So currently this is the team I'm using. I've gotten very lucky and drew Valkyrie first from my rerolling, but then afterwards I got Dracula by surprise, and then I thought I just need to get Isabella and we're Gucci. But apparently even better things happen and I got Merlin, which I got very excited about, even though Isabella would have been better because I don't really have any good healer at the moment. I think that she's a perfect hero because not only Dracula but also Valkyrie inflict a lot of AoE attacks. She only triggers her Scryer song once per turn, which means that either Dracula or Valkyrie uses their AoE attacks, then once Merlin would trigger and use her assistance of AoE, which like at the moment deals 55% of intelligence to all enemies, which is still pretty amazing as long as you boost her intellect as much as possible. Now, my composition right now is Merlin, which is a caster. She's a light caster, which is very important for me. You don't really want to have any elemental disadvantages in fights. She just deals base damage to all the 3 remaining elements, which is really great. The next hero I'm using is Dracula. Now, his Shackles of Sin is just amazing. One thing I've noticed that once you're using Shackles of Sin, I actually tried to activate my new artifact, which I've built up, Piskies. Piskies says that there's a ability that triggers, there's a half a chance that it will trigger, so a 50% chance Fantasy Mist, which means that if he uses these Shackles of Sin, there's half a chance that he'll be able to trigger his Fantasy Mist, and I've seen that happen a lot of times. If you can manage to get the full bonus, which is just guaranteed to trigger every time, but just the fact that if somebody targets him while he's also absorbing at the same time damage from your teammates, he still receives less damage from the single targets that target him because he's in the guard status, so it's like a win-win situation. He still receives less damage than he would have been just simply using the Shackles of Sin ability. Next hero is Valkyrie. She at the moment is amazing because she gets to trigger her special ability called Caliburn, and it's required to have a Merlin in team, which I got lucky enough to pull her as well. She isn't really providing that much value with her ultimate Bladestorm because the shield she produces is quite weak. I'm guessing maybe once I get better gear and increase her health more, because Bladestorm grants a shield based on double the amount of max HP that Valkyrie has. Overall, she's more of a damage dealer at the moment in the early levels, even though she does jump in front of the attack and sometimes that really helps, but for the most part Dracula is doing all the heavy lifting at the moment. She's more of a damage dealer. The main hero himself, at the moment I'm just using him because you get his own shards from completing story story missions, which again, shards are important in improving your hero. They're given to me for free. Right now he's doing a moderate amount of damage. Nothing about him is amazing, but as long as I can keep getting his shards and funneling them into making him stronger, that's fine by me. So he's not amazing, but it's quite fun because the Blade of Destiny, it also triggers Merlin if he gets to kill the enemy. His single target ability is like, I don't know, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Depends if he has elemental advantage. And the final team member I use on my main lineup is Jester. He's okay. I mean, he's fine. His AoE ability is nothing amazing. More or less, I'm using him for the triple strike, which deals 3 strikes in a row. And also, this ability ignores protection. And also, he's a shadow hero, so that means he's not going to be affected by the elemental disadvantages at all. And yeah, now for my support, all of them are mostly used just for a single goal, to achieve the 5 out of 5 fire elemental synergy, which grants the 1/3 of a chance to increase your critical strike, which is 30% critical chance. None of them are amazing, although I would say that Venus, she is pretty good with her support ability, which heals for quite a good amount. Right now she's healing about 1/3, sometimes even half of HP of some of the heroes, which is nice. Vivian, she's nothing amazing. She just basically applies a debuff of Ignite. It's just, I mean, she's a rare. I'm only using her just to achieve because I have nothing better in fire heroes right now. And Apollo, I would say he's actually quite critical if you're playing manual battles. But if on auto battle, he's kind of stupid. He doesn't really apply the heroes that actually really need to be cleansed. If you have, for example, Valkyrie, who just jumps in front of your allies to protect them, if she gets like petrified or frozen, you can just use them as support and just clear them off, and then she can just go at it again, so which is amazing in my opinion. Sometimes it's also very important to cleanse Merlin because she is my biggest damage dealer AoE wise, so if she gets a lot of debuffs for attacks, if she gets just debuffs for defensive values because they need to keep her alive. So Apollo actually serves a critical role. I think he's great. So that's about it. That's my team I'm using right now. Obviously I'm gonna be improving and increasing them and replacing them later on, but that's the amount of heroes I can obtain at the moment. I've used up all my tarot cards. This is the best I've got. I'm pretty happy with the team. I'm happy that I pulled Merlin together with Valkyrie. I hope this video gave you enough value to understand like what's working in PvP right now. Obviously it's too early to tell what the meta will be. It's always nice to invest in the one SSR that you're focusing on. Right now I'm focusing purely on Merlin. She helps me clear a lot of story content very easily, so I value her. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any more ideas what type of videos or guides I should be producing. I know some of you asked for the tier list for SR or all the heroes in the game. Some of you also asked to produce a support unit list tier list, which I think that would be very interesting to do. So let me know which video you want me to make next. I'm actually going to add a poll right now. So if you're still watching this video, vote on the poll and let me know like which type of video you want me to produce. If you're also looking for a tier list right now, you can check out our tier list guide on our website called gachagamer.com. The link is below the video. I hope you guys found some use in this video. And yeah, thanks for watching.